Good morning. Cleanliness is next to godliness. You've probably heard that old adage. A lot of people think this quote comes from scripture, but it actually doesn't. It's deeply ingrained in the human psyche. Keeping oneself and one's personal space clean has always been seen as a way of honoring one's higher power or the universal forces with which one connects. Everything has energy, even dirt. Keeping your home in disarray with dirt and debris tends to create pockets of negative energy. Your body is your temple. Your home is your shrine. Keeping it messy and disordered can be seen as an assault on the personal senses. At this time of year, when our minds turn to spring cleaning our physical houses, it might be a good time to look at cleaning our spiritual houses also. It may be a good time to check the foundation of our spirit. Look underneath the fixtures of our hearts for the dust of laziness and spiritual apathy. Go over firmly held beliefs with a fine-tooth comb and roll up the shirt sleeves, ridding our heart of any leftover bitterness or unforgiveness. If we desire clean hearts, all we have to do is ask and let the cleaning begin.
So spring cleaning is the topic this morning, and spring cleaning is not something that's new. It's something we're all familiar with. It's actually a time-honored tradition in many cultures, has been around the world. And it's not simply about removing dirt and removing dust and removing clutter. There's a lot more to it than that, actually. Now, most cultures had a time each year when whole communities would clean their house and then work together to clean and maintain the temple and the houses of worship. And they would do that together, usually occurring at this time of the year, the time of renewal. However, in China, springtime is agriculturally based, and it's their New Year's celebration. And that is preceded by a thorough home cleaning. Now, they do that. The reason they do that home cleaning is twofold. First, of course, to remove accumulated dirt and dust. And second, to rid the dwelling of evil spirits that may have taken up residence in their house that don't follow them into the new year. I figure it can't hurt, right? In some places, that time of renewal was at the end of a rainy season or the end of a dry season. Either way, cleaning was more than just the practical thing to do. It was part of their spiritual practices, which is one reason they did it together as a community. So this is the time of year that our culture tends to take on those spring cleaning projects, both inside and outside of our homes. We put so much time and effort, some of us anyway, into cleaning our homes. So maybe it's really a good idea to do the same thing for our spirit as well, to do that spiritual spring cleaning. Now, spring cleaning tends to go beyond normal everyday cleaning. It's deeper than that. It's a major project for us of home revitalization. It's about making everything new by removing the dirt, by removing that dust and that clutter, letting go of those things that no longer are useful for us. Maybe that somebody else can get something out of. We pack clothes in a bag and we hand them to the Goodwill or old furniture and such. We want to make sure that it's the process to make sure that everything's in good repair in our home, to make sure that everything's in good order. That way, the coming year is free and clear of any issues. What a concept, right? So clearing away the old and preparing for new growth is the essence of spring. Whether we're cleaning our houses, whether we're clearing a space in our garden for new planting, or whether we're opening up and freeing our spirit. With spiritual spring cleaning, we're removing those things that obscure our awareness of ourselves as beings of spirit. There's something about spring that dwells deep within our human instincts to get us focused on that clearing and cleansing process. We feel the impulse to open windows, clear away the dust, get rid of those cobwebs. An analogy I really like is that of the spirit being like the sun and our mind being like a window. When our mind is clouded, when it's clouded by fear, apathy, pain, disappointment, maybe others' expectations of us, then that light of spirit gets blocked, just like those dirty windows get blocked by the sun. The sun is still there. The sun is shining oh so very brightly. It is we who are clouded, we who are seeing murky. When we clear away those negative thought patterns, the light of our own spirit can then shine forth into our world. It's always up to us. Nobody's going to come clean our windows, no matter how much we pay them, right? So every once in a while, we could probably all use a good personal decluttering. It's really good for us to go through what we need, what we don't, what's important to us, what should stay in our lives and what should go. Whether talking about the stuff in our houses, or we're talking about our desires or our beliefs, whether we're talking about what we want or what we don't want in ourselves, in our lives, a little personal reevaluation every once in a while is really a great thing to experience. When we find ourselves in the throes of that, whether it's by circumstance or by choice, we're going to often find ourselves suddenly compelled, hopefully, to go through our closets and make our homes reflect our inner selves. Have you ever found yourself doing that? You find yourself, why am I clearing out this closet, for goodness sake, out of the middle of nowhere? And then you realize it's really about within. It's not necessarily about that outside stuff. Sometimes when we declutter closets, it's a sign that we're ready to clean on that inside too. Or maybe some changes have been going on inside of us, and we're not necessarily always aware of those changes that are happening. And that closet thing is just giving us a little nudge, a little wake-up call, because that does happen. Letting go of all kinds of stuff that we no longer need or want, whether at home or whether it's within, is essential to letting go of that negative energy that can accumulate. We want to make sure we're not holding on to anything that we don't want or that we don't need. So, to do that, it's a real good idea to take stock of what you do have, what you do need, who I am, who I'm not, what to change in your life, what to keep the same, what needs some shining, what needs some tossing. That's the most efficient way we can keep our inner and our outer worlds functioning at their highest level. Our minds need to be cleaned up and reorganized every once in a while. I don't know about you, but throughout your life, you're acquiring information, right? You're getting things and you're hearing it all the time. And so we tend to clutter our minds with all of that information that we thought we could use or work with, or that seemed really important and helpful at one particular time in our life, can easily become clutter because we hold on to it. It keeps us, when we're that cluttered, it keeps us from finding what it is we want or what it is we truly need. Because over time, those ideas, those memories, those concerns that we've accumulated at the time seemed very important. They seemed to really matter and be worthy of our attention. However, what happens is we accrue all these experiences and their original value, their importance, or the interest in them often changes. And our mind can get really overwhelmed by all that activity, by all that excess. Many of you know Phyllis. She used to say there was a committee in there, right? And that's what happens. We get all these things going. Sorting through all that clutter is one of the first things that we want to do. And when we're serious about our spiritual or personal cleaning, we want to take everything out, examine it, see what we can toss, what isn't useful to us any longer, recognize that those things that we need and want based on how often we use them, how much of a use they are to us in our life. We want to hang on to the really good stuff and store it in a safe place up there, aside from the committee. Keeping our home in disarray, and Nathan talked a little bit about this in his reading. Keeping our home in disarray with that dirt and the debris does absolutely tend to create pockets of negative energy. And guess what? That's true with our mind too. Everything, absolutely everything, has energy, even that dirt. And those pockets of negative energy can and does grow if we don't pay attention. And what does it do? It clings to anything and everything it can. And it grows. And it's easy to allow that to happen. Before you know it, you feel like you're surrounded. You can no longer, you're no longer aware of what it is. It's just part of life. You know it though when you start feeling the effects of that negative energy. How does that show up? Depression, moodiness, unhappiness, restlessness, mood swings, all those things. That is very possibly the buildup of the negative energy in your surroundings or going on up here. Our mind is very affected by that clutter and by that disorganization. It gets our mind racing. It makes our thoughts kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Believe me, I have too much experience with this. If you notice that your thought patterns and your plans are less efficient, you probably have a lot going on. And that's because we have all those visual distractions surrounding us. It captures our attention. If you want to calm your mind, so you can focus better, so you can think better, getting organized is a great way to do that. Organizing our surroundings help us to organize our mind and our thoughts. And the foundation of good spiritual health is good mental health, is it not? We have to start there. The universe and your surroundings rearrange themselves to bring you what you believe. We talk about that a lot. And it also is absolutely reflecting your existing reality. So it is literally as within, so without. I mean, we've heard that a lot, right? It is really the truth. Your outside world really is an exact reflection of your inner world. You should see my desk. So here's some, it isn't pretty, but here's some ideas to spring clean your spirit. Dust off any irritations you might have. Think of the things or people that might annoy you. Ask yourself, is anything going on in my heart, in my space, that may possibly be contributing to that? Consider how cluttered your days are. What could you let go of from your life that's cluttering relationships, that's stopping you from having that deep connection with spirit or with other people? Look at the small things in your life. How do you spend your time? What activities do you feel in your life are a have to? Is there an area of your life that feels particularly chaotic? Maybe you can organize it or even let go of it. Contemplate what's lacking in your life, what you want to accomplish but aren't. Because sometimes what we fail to do when we have that intention, will also deplete our spirituality, our spiritual health, not our spirituality, our spiritual health. Take a personal inventory of what you want to keep and what you want to let go of. The activities, the relationships, the commitments in every area of your life. And include those things that are preventing you from experiencing that deep connection to spirit. What can you let go of? We have a habit as human beings to hold on to our old habits. We become afraid of letting go of our past because we fear that God can't handle it, all right? We feel the need to always be in control and that we know better. We have all the answers. We just need to trust and know that all is in divine order and that Spirit does have our back. Once we've taken that extensive inventory, we want to clean things out. We want to replace only the things that are serving us. We don't want to hang on to all that junk and garbage. Peace within leads to peace in your life. And who doesn't want that? As within, so without. If you want to change something in your life, look within. Alter your attitude and your beliefs in order for your outer world to change. Change yourself on the inside, and your outer world will change automatically to match that. To have something that you've never had before, you must do something you've never done before. It is that simple. And the key to being successful is to stay with it. Stay on task. Remind yourself every day if you need to. Spring has arrived officially today, and I love that idea. Fresh air, bright skies, breezy nights. If you want to have that deeper connection through your spiritual walk, be open to taking an inventory. Be open to letting go and letting God. Life wants us to grow spiritually through the abundance of grace that we are gifted with. So don't take your spring cleaning chores lightly this year. See yourself as a spiritual warrior. Your mop can be your weapon. Your dustpan can be your shield. Tackle the dust, empty the clutter so your spirit finds that peace that it so deserves. And then allow yourself to take some time this spring to begin to manifest your visions for this coming year. And so I'll close with this blessing. May what comes to life inside your heart be filled with love, truth, beauty, trust, harmony, and peace. And may those principles move you to go out into the world and fill it with the radiance that always reawakens at the first sign of spring. Thank you for being here while I shared this truth as I understand it.